What's going on, everyone? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So today I want to discuss a little bit further about my overall opinions of the Season 2 update that happened in Garena, which of course hasn't come out yet on just on the global version, which is still disappointing, and that's something I really do not like about these updates, because every single time the global version's always the last one to get it. We usually get it a day or two later, which is something I'm not really a fan of. I mean, I think every version should come out simultaneously. So yeah, I'm just hoping that one day that stuff will end. But anyways, like I said, I want to talk a little bit further about the Season 2 patch, because I know a lot of people had mixed feelings about it. A lot of people were kind of disappointed, and I know a lot of people who play ranked were also annoyed by the changes that they made, and it kind of makes you wonder if the devs are actually listening to us. And look guys, I'm concerned about it too, because I mean, they really didn't fix a lot of the main problems, that of course being the snipers and the man of war. So the man of war, it's pretty obvious why they didn't change it. Of course they're having a legendary variant called the Death Scythe, I believe. And you know, it's an alright variant. I've seen the leaks and everything. It's nothing to be crazy for. But I do admit I want to get the other stuff, because all the other side stuff, like the epic blueprints, are pretty worthwhile. But when it comes to legendary weapon, I don't know. I honestly don't care at this point. But the bottom line is that they're not nerfing it because of that reason. So I guess whatever. I mean, to be honest, in public matches that I usually do, there's not really a lot of Man of War users, so it's not too much of a problem, at least for me on a personal level. But yeah, if I'm speaking for everyone in the community, of course it's going to be a problem. But of course, my main concern was the sniper. So like I said before multiple times, they've only worked on one sniper, which of course is the Arctic 50. But honestly, you really don't need the stopping power, so really, you could just use the 12-round mag and still dominate with it, as long as you hit on the stomach and above. But, you know, it concerns me even more, because now there's going to be 5 overpowered snipers, which of course one of them is the SPR. Well, of course it's a marksman rifle, but let's be honest, it's technically a sniper. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with that. And of course I know they fixed the light bolt and everything, so it's only a matter of time before that becomes a problem. What really put me on edge during this patch is when I heard that the DLQ was getting a damage buff, which was something it really didn't even need, because it always gets one-shots no matter what. Unless you're shooting in the feet, of course, you're going to get a 2-shot kill. But the majority of the time that you're using the DLQ, you are going to get a 1-shot. I don't understand why they had to buff up the weapon even more, if it's already fine the way it is. And another problem is that they did not reduce the ADS times for all the snipers. It was so simple. They did not have to do anything in terms of damage, in terms of movement speed. All they had to do was nerf the ADS speed. That's literally it. But yet they did not do that for some reason. And that's why I wonder, are they even listening to us? I mean, the whole month of Season 1, we were just talking about how overpowered snipers were. We were talking about how the ADS speed needs to be nerfed, yet here we are with literally no changes to any of the snipers that are actually the problem. So now we're gonna have to wait maybe another month and a half or 2 months, just for the next season, Season 3, in order to wait for that change that may or may not even happen. But look, let's look on the bright side for a second. I do appreciate the other changes that they made, you know, nerfing the war machine, nerfing the gravity spikes, which was definitely needed. But I don't really think the damage was the problem. I don't think the damage range was the problem. I think it was more the fact that they had a shield in the middle of the animation. So that's one thing I've always had a problem with in the gravity spikes for this game. Because in Black Ops 3, when they were first introduced, there was no shield. So if you killed them midair, that was it. The same went for Black Ops 4. It should never have a shield. In fact, the shield is so powerful to the point where, let's say you have an Annihilator out, and the person's about to gravity spike you. If you actually shoot the person, the shield will actually protect them. It won't even take away half their health. That's how strong the shield is. You can't kill them mid-air. There's nothing you can do about it. So you're pretty much forced to take it without actually finding out a way to avoid it, which I really don't think there actually is a way to avoid gravity spikes. But bottom line, I am happy that they made that change, and grateful in fact. Another change that I really do appreciate is the fact that they gave the HBR a little bit of love, because out of all the assault rifles, I felt like that was used the least after the gunsmith came out. I only really used it to get gold and to get diamond for it, but I did give it a little bit of love and I did enjoy using it. But the problem was that all the attachments that you use to stabilize it, because it does have a lot of horizontal recoil, it pretty much slows your gun down to the point where you could barely move while you're aiming. So yeah, it was a pretty weak gun. So I'm glad that they reduced the downsides for the marksman barrel so it could have a chance to compete against other guns with a little bit more agility. Another change that I did like about this new Season 2 update was the fact that they nerfed the DRH just a little bit so it wouldn't be so much of a problem. So I had a lot of problem against users that would actually use no stock on the weapon. I personally don't use it as much, well, at least not anymore, because it just messes up the ADS bullet spread accuracy by a lot. But yeah, I felt like they had a little bit too much movement with an assault rifle like that. So I guess they added some flinch, and I think they made it a little bit faster to aim, but yeah, it comes at a cost of like really high flinch. But you know, it was a change that was necessary because the DRH was pretty dominant in some instances. Other interesting changes include like just mobility stuff, you know, when it comes to drop shotting, or even just the overall like smoothness of, I guess, movements of characters. Like that was really nice. I'm glad that they did that, because I think the drop shot was a little bit overpowered. They made the hitboxes, I think, a little bit bigger so it won't be such a problem to deal with. So yeah, I'm happy that they made those changes. But like I said, I felt like they could really have done more. I think one of the biggest problems that could have been fixed within this update, other than just the snipers and just the man of war, was definitely the thermites. I know a lot of people hate thermites. Honestly, it's probably the most cowardly lethal equipment that you could actually use in this game. I know a lot of you guys can agree with it. I mean, like, hardpoint gets compromised because of these stupid thermites. You know, if you play Shipment 1944 on hardpoint, it's just the worst experience ever, because everyone's just throwing thermites back and forth. It's just like there's really no point on going on the objectives, because like you're just gonna get burned by those things. I felt like they should have removed them, or at least banned them from hardpoint or something like that, because like honestly, the thermites are so unbearable to the point where I literally had to switch from agile to flak jacket in order to at least stand a chance against people like that. Honestly, like I said, it's the most cowardly thing. People just do it just to get out of a gunfight, and sometimes they just do it to weaken the enemy so they won't have to deal with the fact that they just suck. I know a lot of you guys would defend it by saying that, it's like thermites are just used for strategy. No, they're not. They're just simply cowardly. Like if you're that bad in gunfights that like, and you have to use thermites, dude, you're a terrible person. I'm sorry. Thermites are like literally one of the most toxic things in this game, and they need to be removed like ASAP, or at least changed or something, because they're just extremely unbearable to deal with. But yeah, that's pretty much going to conclude my little patch notes discussion. Honestly, like I said, they could have done better. I mean, the snipers, they should have been changed. I don't understand why they weren't. I mean, there's no legendary for snipers coming out at all except for the SPR. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really going to question anymore. I blame the kids, man. They just want to quickscope because it's easy. I mean, like, they just want it to stay easy. That's basically the only reason why they're defending it, because they don't want it to be nerfed so they could actually have like put effort into it. I don't know. Kids these days, they don't want to put effort into anything, I guess. I guess that's how it is. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. My name is Triforce Addiction. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to subscribe for some more COD mobile content. So yeah, laters.